All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back, or welcome, depending on if you're new or not, to the Glitchy Ghost podcast. I'm your host, Jamie, and my co-host that I'm with is Cody. Um,
How you doing?
yeah, how you doing? Uh, Episode 2. What would you like to talk about today, Mr. Cody?
Well, I've been curious because I've been on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and all that, and I've been seeing a lot of companies remastering and remaking a lot of games. I want to know, are they trying to stay relevant or are they trying to tell us that they're coming out with new titles?
I mean, wasn't Mass Effect just remastered?
Yeah. Are they
Legendary
telling us
Edition.
yeah, are they telling us they're coming out with a new one or are they just trying to stay relevant?
I feel like that's such a hard thing to say. I mean, I think there's a split between wanting to give an audience that has never played it a chance to play it, and then the audience that played it in the past to kind of relive those memories that they had. I mean, you honestly, didn't you just finish Mass Effect before this remake came out?
I finished it like literally probably a week before they even talked about the remastered version.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I'm sure you would have appreciated this remake if you would have known it was in the making.
Yeah. But I
But
mean, stuff happens.
right. I don't know. I don't know if it's to stay relevant. I think it's like I said, I think it's just to relive or just to appreciate. Because I mean, a good amount of these games I feel like needed remakes. Key point, Resident Evil series, the Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 remake, I think was phenomenal.
I
Honestly,
mean, you got to look at Resident Evil. They made the remakes, and they still came out with a new game. You have games like Spyro that made the remaster version, but where's the new Spyro title?
you want a standalone Spiral title.
I want a brand new
'Cause you
game.
had
Like I
Skyrim,
don't
not
mind.
Skyrim, Skylanders.
Yeah, the Skylanders doesn't really, I mean, fully count to me. I
Okay,
wasn't a fan. I
right.
mean, you got to spend what $60 on the game, and then you got to buy it. It's just like the DLC conversation we had. You got to buy a
True.
bunch of characters. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to buy a game and enjoy it without having to buy extra at least right away.
Well, I feel like I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't mind these remakes. I mean, just for
Man,
the simple fact, some of these games I have not played. I mean, thinking about the Spiral remakes, right? I only played Spiral 1, right? And to get the trilogy, you're able to play all three of them. I never played 2 and 3. Uh, and it's nice to see it in the HD. Like I'm able to relive 1, but then experience 2 and 3 as like it's a new thing.
I'm not saying they should stop doing it. I'm just saying like how like example the example again, Resident Evil. You know, they remastering the game still, but they're giving us new titles as well.
I think some companies just don't have that resource to remaster and granted, because I think Resident Evil uh was Resident Evil 8 made by I think it was made by the same people who made 2 and 3, right?
I believe so.
That kind of kills my whole theory, but I mean, I'm sure like I mean, I'm pretty sure some companies split it up, kind of like Call of Duty does, like where they
Yeah.
have like multiple companies working on their product or IPs. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm between a rock and a hard place on this in this conversation because it's just like I don't mind these remakes,
I
especially
don't mind it. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I do love the remakes.
yeah.
It's just, you know, they're remaking games which will take you sometimes just a few hours to beat. So after you're done, you're waiting for that next title.
If it takes you a few hours to beat a game, I think you need to go outside for a little
Well, I mean, they're remaking old
bit.
classics. They're remaking PS1 and older games.
I mean, I see where you're going with on that. I mean, it's really hard. It's really hard to gauge it. I wouldn't mind newer titles or kind of like I don't know. Ratchet and Clank is like another good example where they remastered the older ones and
Gave us a
they
new
just came
title.
out with a new one. Yeah. So I mean, do we need another Mass Effect? I don't know.
I say yes. I mean,
Do we need another Spiral? I don't know. I don't know.
I say yes again. I played
It's
the
just
ones after 1, 2, and 3, and
uh
the regular ones before Skylanders, and it was good. I mean, it wasn't s- the original type spirals, but it was pretty good.
I understand.
And the same thing with Crash Bandicoot, you know?
Oh, I forgot about Crash. Yeah, Crash was cool. I mean, you know what I want them to remake and just come back with is like old school Guitar Hero.
Oh my God, I miss those. I miss that when we had color buttons.
Yeah, they really messed up doing the whatever the hell they did with. I think it was Guitar Hero Live. I think it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was garbage.
Where's DJ Hero actually? That was really
Oh
good.
gosh, DJ Hero was good. Yeah, I think these companies realize that we don't want that much peripherals in our houses anymore. Like, I mean, speak for myself, right? But um, that stuff created a lot of clutter. I mean, I
It did.
never had a Rock Band set, but I wanted one.
You saw
But
the box art
seeing
that came in?
right, it was huge. It was huge. But like seeing somebody who had a Rock Band set and just it's sitting in the corner of their apartment, it was just like this is where it lives now. Like this is where this hunk of plastic lives now. It's like how often do you play Rock Band? Probably not often enough. You
But I
probably played
mean,
it for a long time that first week.
I know I played Guitar Hero 3 a lot.
The thing about Guitar Hero though is it still has a fan base
Oh, it
and
has fantastic
and
fan base.
those guitars are going for like stupid amounts of money on eBay because now they have their own PC ports where people are making their own things, kind of like how Beat Saber is, how they make their own courses. So like, please, Guitar Hero, make another freaking Guitar Hero game because that would be awesome.
That would
Wireless
be amazing.
guitars,
Universal guitars. That's what
yeah,
we
that
need.
too. Yeah, definitely.
You know,
But
I'm looking at the prices now. I mean, they're selling Guitar Hero. What was that? 3? Oh
hmm
no, yeah, this is Guitar Hero 3, the PC bundle on Amazon for $370.
yeah, that's rough. I'm looking on. That's funny that we're both playing it up, but
Goodness gracious.
yeah,
But here's the best part. The game,
it
the
really
game is
it
only
costs a
like
lot, but
15.
yeah. Remake that. That I'd be okay
Turns
with.
out Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. Gotta have that. Um,
Yeah, but you don't think the 3DS ones count?
they count,
Because technically that's a remake.
but I'm saying for like the Switch. I
Okay,
wanted
so
to
you want
play
a
it on
remake.
yeah, I wanted to play it on the TV, sort of like how they did. Well, I mean, the
If
ones on the
any,
3DS was a remake because they remade it for the GameCube.
yeah, you're right. If anything, they would
Port
probably
it. I don't.
port
I
it.
don't care. I just want to play it. I don't care if it was Nintendo 64 graphics again.
Okay.
I need it.
Okay. So I mean that's not a remake. You just want it to the Switch. But okay, so Ratchet and Clank, uh, Jack and Dexter, any other one?
Um, honestly, I wouldn't. I know. I was thinking maybe the Sonic Adventure series, but I've played the regular classic ones on Steam, and it's fine. It's perfect for me.
Yeah, I think those did age well.
They age it very well.
Yeah,
I was gonna say Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, but they did the same thing.
they
Ooh,
aged well.
yeah, they actually aged pretty well.
Mm, I don't think I've ever played that.
Really good game. Really good.
I mean, they already remastered the game that I wanted, and that was Destroy All Humans. And
I mean, Jet Set Radio Future.
oh yeah,
At least a port. I don't care. That was amazing.
yeah. I feel like they abandoned the hell out of that game.
They did.
And there's like a lot of
Sad.
love for it. Like, I know you like really love that game, but there's a lot of love for that game. And I don't know. I feel the same way. You know what? Another one is the Skate series, like
Oh my God,
specifically
the
Skate
skate.
3. Like if they could just port it, I don't even need a remake. Just port that. Port it somewhere. Give it to
How about
PC. Put it
the
on PC. Put it
Underground?
on.
Tony Hawk Underground.
Ah, I would love a remake with it. I feel like they're going to that though. I mean, they did the whole Tony Hawk
1 and 2.
1 and 2. Yeah, I feel like Tony Hawk probably would want to do Underground. I feel like there was a lot of people saying they wanted Underground, so I wouldn't be surprised seeing that come out within like, I would say a year or two. A little too
Honestly, I'm
long, but yeah.
I'm not sure because there are a lot of games that I liked that I've noticed are in the works of being remade or remastered because Dark Alliance series they started doing theirs and they
Mhm.
did out the blue. It was in the works for a while, but they announced it out of the blue probably like a month before it was released, and I'm happy about that. So I don't know because there's a few games, but can't think of any off the top of my head right now.
Got you. What are you currently playing right now?
Oh, right now I'm stuck between a few because I've been trying to do. Well, I just finished Breath of the Wild again, since but fully this time. Um,
How do you feel about that?
I'm actually happy, a little happy about it.
It's such a hard thing to finish games. I don't know
It's
what it
harder
is.
to finish an
Getting to
open
the
world
end.
game
I don't think it's just in general. I think getting to the end of a game, I feel like a lot of people go through this, but you would get close to the ending, and especially if it's a good game, you stop and then you just don't finish it
because
because
you're stuck with two choices. You either you finish it and put it away, or you restart it, and then you're just doing what you already did, and you feel like unaccomplished at that point.
very true, very true. But it's so unhealthy, especially like with all the games that like we would have. It's a lot of games, and just leaving games to go all the way to the end and just not finishing them and then restarting them is just such a bad habit.
But I mean, it's sort of like your favorite TV shows. You never want to finish those. But I mean that also kind of you think maybe that's why there a lot of games are just working on like survival type games and battle royales, something that kind of never ends. Think about it.
Uh,
They know a lot of people are gonna put down the game if it finishes. So let's add a multiplayer or battle royale and focus on that and add new content to that. Keep people interested until we decide on a new game to make for them.
did we talk about this last episode about single player
We
games?
um I'm not even sure.
I don't even remember. That's so bad.
We need to
But
start taking full notes, I guess.
no, I mean, no, I agree. I think there's a really uh a weird split between single player games right now and these battle royales. I feel like the battle royales are obviously the highlight right now, especially you have Apex and um
Apex,
Fortnite and
Fortnite,
Warzone. Yeah, Warzone. Um, which funny thing about Apex is you heard about it's pushing the Titanfall 2 well, not universe, but the Titanfall 2 sales going up now, and that player base is actually going up because there was a whole, I think it was like a Reddit post regarding people asking um how the Titanfall 2 universe ties in with Apex, and then people got interested and then started posting clips of their Titanfall 2 clips, and then it started to just their player base jumped, and I think it happened as soon as it moved on to Steam, because I think originally it was stuck on the Ubisoft. Is it Ubisoft that owns
No,
them?
it's not Ubisoft. It was
Uh, Not
what is
Ubisoft.
that other one?
EA.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, EA's. So what I was watching the other day was saying that the reason why Titanfall 1 didn't, well, it did great, but it didn't do as great is because it was an Xbox exclusive. Titanfall 2 kind of just got swept under the rug because it was released around the same time as Battlefield and Call of Duty, And for some reason, EA felt like it was a contender against those, and I think that was just like probably the dumbest thing. So it ended up just being overlooked. And then now we're in 2021, and that player base is getting pushed. This is pretty high now. Now people are on Titanfall 2 and actually playing it.
And Apex because now they have the 3v3.
Yeah,
They're I like that. They went from, a full battle royale to 3v3 and different modes that they're working on still. And I like that because I'm not the battle royale type person. I've never won one, so maybe that's why. But I mean, constantly looking over your shoulder in those for anything that moves is a little on edge. But then you got 3v3 where it's a lot more close quarters. You don't have to scale the entire map looking for enemies. You're in a close quarter. I like that a lot more than an open world battle royale.
playing that on Call of Duty was rough though.
What
It was
the
three v
Warzone?
three. It was three.
Oh,
No, but I forgot what was it called. The 3v3 was called a certain game mode, but I forgot. I haven't because I haven't played in a while. But I remember that was rough because like you either were real lucky to have that one teammate that was just on point, or the other team just had to like really be slacking. But if they knew what they were doing, it'd be tough, especially with those gunfights because they were just so close. It was just, and then having the random weapons was just, yeah, that was a headache.
I mean, that's what games are going towards. That kind of multiplayer style. They're throwing us
Yeah,
in.
wasn't the rumor of Halo having a battle royale implementation into
Ah,
their game for the Infinite? I mean, I felt like that was a rumor at some point because this was actually in the hype of Infinite when they dropped the trailer and then they showed how bad that brute looked. And I think this was before they pushed it back. But
there was a rumor, but they're saying that Infinite won't have one, but fans will make one anyway. So they're probably gonna have a fan made one, like how that Halo beta thing we were playing.
yeah, I forgot what that was called. The PC fan made Halo. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty dope. Um, so what else was on your list? You played Zelda. What else?
I'm missing old co-op games like the Rainbow Six ones, the Las Vegas, Army of Two games. I miss good old co-op games, whether it's couch play or just online. When's the last time you played a good co-op game where it's great story?
Mm, um, yeah, actually, I have a good one. It was the one that. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to look it up. It was the one that you played as like two convicts and
I believe that's called a Way Out, I think. Just search that out right now. Yep, A Way Out.
a way out. Yeah, that was really good.
I mean, I was
Uh,
watching you play most of it. That was really good, and I like that. And I like
that
the way
had
they sold it. Did you know how they sold it?
yeah, you buy one copy and then the other copy, like it's not another copy, but you can just invite your friend and it would be
That was
free or something like
genius.
that. Like
Yeah, it
you
was.
didn't need two copies of the game to play it. And they actually have a new game like that now, and it's called It Takes Two. I don't know if you've seen
I have that. We actually talked about that, and we was like, that might be our next co-op game.
it. It might be. It's got great reviews. It's definitely something that I want to check out. And I feel like that's a new co-op game experience that's gonna be up there. But
It's funny. I'm actually looking at it right now. There
mhm.
is a friend pass.
Yes, yes. That I was gonna mention that it actually takes advantage of the same thing as a way out. It has a front pass. So it's hard to say. I mean, besides those games, there wasn't that much uh co-op games that I felt like that were co-op story driven that I can say that was really good. Um yeah, I can't even think of like any other game. besides A Way Out that recently that I think that was good for co-op. I like that. I like Resident Evil 5, I would say had my most favorite co-op experience, honestly.
I know why
Uh
you're laughing.
yeah, yeah. No, I
It was
mean,
fun for you, not for
oh,
me.
I mean, listen, no one told you to hold the bridge, but that's your
What do you
fault,
mean hold the
right?
bridge? You were holding the bridge. I was falling off the bridge when you let go.
Oh yeah, that was true. That was true. I thought it was me holding the bridge, but or you holding the bridge, but yeah. No, that was I like that experience. And there's not that many games like that, I feel. Unless there I mean maybe there is, and maybe I'm just overlooking it, but I can't think of no other ones that are just like recent that were good co-op games.
Like I want something that takes my breath away. Like Dead Space 3, I mean, the co-op experience was fun. Story kind of
Mm-hmm.
went a little weird to me because I played the 1 and 2 and it was a lot more scarier than how 3 was.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one. The greatest co-op ones I've ever played was the Tom Clancy ones. Um,
Mm,
the Rainbow Six Las Vegas and all those, like I was saying.
yeah.
Kane and Lynch surprisingly was good for co-op. The like not I wouldn't say the story was all that, but I mean I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I
Army of
played a
Two.
bit of yeah, I was gonna say Army of Two. Army of Two was definitely one of those. I played a bit of it, and that needs to be a they need to either do a new one of that or a remake of that. I wouldn't mind that.
I would like a remake because I mean you played the last one, right? The Devil's Cartel?
I think that's the one I didn't finish.
Yeah, they kind of went all over with that one.
Mm.
I don't want to say too much for people that didn't play it, but they went a little.
The game is how old? You can say whatever you want, man.
I mean, I did not expect everybody to just kind of be switching up sides from good guys to bad guys right away.
Mm. Now you ruined it
Uh,
for me. No, I'm just kidding.
oh, please, you don't even know who the bad guy is yet.
You know,
But yeah,
I felt that way with Saints Row,
oh my God,
but
the
in a
Saints Row.
negative way. I feel like 3 was not my favorite. I
Two
think
was my favorite.
2, yeah, I was gonna say 2 is my favorite, and I feel like 3 just went so sideways. And I
After that,
think
it was just arcade.
did 3 have co-op?
Yeah, it had co-op. It was stupid co-op.
Mm.
It was
I mean,
just,
it's a parody to Grand Theft Auto. I get it, right? Like, I mean,
but I
it's
mean,
I think
two
it
was kind of
started
serious.
off right. No, it started off as a parody to Grand Theft Auto, and then they took themselves serious with 2, and then 3. I don't know what happened there. I think they just went back to their roots and was like, let's just make
Well,
this as wacky as possible.
they definitely started doing drugs on two, and it was like, hey, we didn't make a parody in two. We got to make sure three is a parody, or we're getting sued.
Now, when we say co-op games, I mean we're talking 2-player because I mean there's a lot of 4-player co-op games. I feel like,
Yeah,
and a lot of
but like
shooters
two.
that are really good. Like obviously like Borderlands series. That co-op is amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
those are good. Those are the exceptions, like 2 to 4. But I'm saying like a good two-player co-op.
mhm,
There haven't been any good two-player co-ops since Split Screen. Because my first time playing Army of Two was split screen,
mhm.
and it was amazing. The amount of co-op that you actually needed in that game made you realize, hey, you're in a great co-op story game. Being able to hide behind your partner and shoot while he holds a shield. I mean, why can't we have that in so many new games like Call of Duty? If the multiplayer had that, the multiplayer would be amazing. But that's beside the point. We're talking about
I f-
regular co-op.
well, yeah, no, I don't. No, I wouldn't say all that because I would feel like Call of Duty has its own groove. Obviously, like that whole arcadey shooter is Call of Duty's game. Army of Two, I get what you're saying. Like that view. I would say I would want to see that in Gears. Because I feel like
Oh
Gears would be
yeah.
able to take advantage of that. And Gears was a great co-op game also, which I'm still not understanding.
Why they
Now,
went to three,
why they went to
and it
three
was a
people?
weird three.
Three people pisses me off on that. Like, and then yeah, the third person was the freaking robot.
Yeah, pisses you off. Remember, we used to play with a group of four, and I happened to get the game kind of late, and then was like, "Oh, it's three-player co-op," and I was just like, "They just don't want me to play."
That was straight up 3 players, which is crazy. I mean, I didn't like that. I thought that was a stupid way of going. I like. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Gears, what was that? It was 3, right? Gears 3 story was good. I'm not gonna say
Well, no,
great.
the last Gears was Gears 5.
Gears 5, damn, really? I'm. Was it 5? All right, I take that back. Yeah, Gears 5. It was okay. It wasn't great. Um, the cliffhanger, cool. I get that they're trying to make like a whole, big series with it, kind of like Halo, but it's just it was okay. I just don't like the route that they're going with this co-op. I wish we can go back to 4-player co-op. But I think what was it? Gears of War 1 was 2-player co-op, correct?
Yeah, I don't
And
think
they
it was
didn't
4.
implement 4-player until 3, I would say.
Um,
Because I think Gears of War 2 was 2-player co-op as well.
I'm looking at it right now. I think it might have been. Yeah. No. Hold on.
I'm
I don't
trying to
know
think of
because
the story in my head because it's hard
I don't know
to
why, but I'm
remember.
seeing that it was 5-player co-op, but I doubt that.
Gears 2?
Yeah. Oh no, this was the horde mode. So yeah, I think it was just 2.
Is all of Gears on Steam? Or is it just Gears of War 5? Just Gears of War 5's on Steam. Oh gosh, it's crazy that I cannot remember that they made 5 of them. Like that makes me
Well,
want to
they made more
revisit.
than 5 because you're forgetting about
Oh, yeah,
Judgment,
Judgment, yeah, yeah.
which was also good.
Gears
Yeah,
of War
I'm
Judgment was funny because just hearing from those two, Baird and
Cold
Cole, right? It was
Train.
Cole. Was also
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That was definitely a good one. Gears of War. Yeah.
And I'm looking at a lot of the upcoming titles also. I'm not really seeing that many co-op. I mean, you got Dying Light and all that, but I don't like. Yeah, those are co-op, but I want co-op where you kind of have different characters that are in the actual story.
Like
Like,
Crackdown? No, I'm just kidding.
I
That
mean,
was bad. Why was Crackdown 3 so bad?
they they must have been talking with the people from Saints Row. That's all I can say.
It definitely wasn't. Let me tell you something. At least Saints Row 3 was polished. Because Crackdown 3 was, I mean, playing it years later is still like, it was bad. Like, I can't believe that. And honestly, Terry Crews should just tell them to like take him out of the game because it's such a bad image. It's, it's pretty
I mean,
garbage.
they got the muscles on point though.
I guess. But like the whole fun part of Crackdown, I feel like was, and I remember playing, I think it was Crackdown 1 or 2, but running around with your friends, collecting the orbs and getting strong and just doing crazy things. And Crackdown 3 was just like, I don't know, it just didn't feel right. I felt like they were trying to take it serious and something just went haywire. I just didn't like it. It was to me it's just, garbage.
I
That's my rant. That's my rant of the day. Just garbage.
mean, that kind of goes to what we were saying before. They stopped really caring about making the games. They're pushing out these games before they're actually finished, and sometimes they don't finish them.
Yeah, I mean, just like like last time we spoke, the Avengers, it's just still broken.
There was a new
Still,
update, by the way.
I'm sure there was. I'm sure there was, and I'm sure they're gonna keep updating it. I'm sure it's never gonna fix it, and I'm gonna always be salty about it because it's just that was supposed to be a really good game. Who was that made by?
That was
Wasn't it
made by Square Enix.
Square Enix, right?
Yep.
Shame on them. Shame on them.
And I love their games. That's the sad part.
No, yeah. I mean, it's a respectable company, but not right now. Not respecting them right now. Not for Avengers.
It's
So
funny
what?
that they're pushing new content. You know, they got the Black Panther content coming out. I wonder if they're gonna fix majority of the bugs that they still have in the game before it comes out.
They're gonna need to, because I'm actually, and I'm looking forward to seeing that gameplay. because I remember talking about.
So wait, you're looking forward to seeing it, not playing it?
No, I'm not gonna play it. Yeah, I can't. I'm not. I'm not getting that headache anymore. That just playing that game gives me a headache. Just the stutters, the breaking. It's just so much of it. I mean, I want to try it again. And don't get me wrong, my PC isn't, like I said, it's not garbage. It's a pretty decent rig, and I'm putting this thing on medium settings and it's struggling. But any other game, I'm able to run just fine. It's just the optimization of Avengers is just garbage, and it makes me mad.
I think they're just focused on their upcoming titles, the ones that, they know are hitting stores heavier than Marvel's Avengers, like the Near
I mean,
and
there
all
was
that.
hype around it, but yeah, I mean, there was hype around Avengers, but then it died. It died quick. Once it came out, it died quick. People were tired of it. They were just the streamers played it. They went through the whole game, and then that was it. It died.
Any up and coming title you're actually looking forward to besides the ones we talked about?
Uh, I don't really have anything. I can't, not that I can think off the top of my head. I don't think there's anything that I'm like really excited for right now that's coming out.
I mean,
Oh,
I'm personally excited for, Biomutant. I've talked to you about it a little bit, but not a lot. I mean,
I keep thinking it came out already. Now,
no,
when does
Biomutant
that thing come out?
it comes out the 25th.
25th.
Yep.
Okay.
Um, just imagine getting your own like squirrel type raccoon, customizing it like basically fully. And I like the customization because when you're customizing your character, if you want your character to have higher intelligence, its brain, like the head actually gets bigger. And if you want him to be like, fast, he gets like kind of scrawny, like slender and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like so customization is basically gonna kind of be unique for basically every playthrough. And you can also change the color of them. And
That's
it's
single player?
yeah, single player.
Okay.
I mean, as much customization, even if it was multiplayer, I doubt you'll see the same, creature if it was like that. But it's open world.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a apocalyptic, um, bio warfare type game,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of plays like Devil May Cry, to be honest. Just imagine that though, like a squirrel, like raccoon type character, swinging around a sword and shooting.
Yeah, no, it sounds amazing. I remember seeing like a few videos of it, and the world looks great. I mean, like the environment and all that. It looks beautiful. It looks like a beautiful game.
Yeah, they were just
Gotta give
actually
it that.
talking about if you play through it, and it's open world, so it's gonna have side missions and all that. It's RPG aspects. But the
Hmm.
creator was saying if you want to just do straight story, it's gonna take you like 15 hours. But if you're gonna try to do everything, he said he didn't give an actual like time length. He just said, hey, the guy that is testing it, he's still playing it, and he's 65 hours in, and he's still going. So it's
That's
a pretty
awesome.
lengthy game, and it's been in the works for a while now, for a really long time actually. They've been talking about it for a few years. Now that I think of it.
I'm actually looking forward to. I was looking up the new Ratchet and Clank actually. I saw
No,
the gameplay on that. It was actually it looks pretty good. Um, I've been wanting like another like little single player platformer type of game, and this actually looks pretty fun. And then seeing how fast that the PS5's uh
loading.
memory is, yeah, and the loading, just being able to go from world to world pretty fast with like minimal loading, it's a pretty cool concept. Um, and then I think that's all they showed. Didn't they just only show that during the PlayStation event?
Yeah, we were watching, waiting for new games.
Yeah, which is that, funny to me that they only showed one game. And I'm not sure what's going on with these events, but uh, yeah, that was just showing one game that we already knew what was coming out. It was pretty savage of a PlayStation to do. But yeah, I think I'm looking forward to this a lot. And I don't know if this had multiplayer.
No,
I
I
think it
believe
did,
it's
right?
just
It's all
pure
single
single
player,
player.
right? Yeah.
Because I mean, Ratchet and Clank only had two multiplayer ones. It was All for One,
Hmm.
and then another one, Deadlock.
And I felt like
But
those. I think All for One was not that bad, was it?
All
I
for
think that
One's
was
more like an arcadey type one.
yeah.
It was fun, but it
Hmm.
wasn't. It was just like a breath of fresh air, even though you don't really need one of those from Ratchet and Clank, from like the
Hmm.
typical Ratchet and Clank. And then Deadlock was sort of like the co-op from like Wild Wild West, the movie with Will Smith. Remember how they had those little neckties that you couldn't go too far away from each other because they were like
Right.
magnetized? It was
Right.
like that. So that was actually a good co-op. Um, shit, now I don't think of it. Another good co-op was the Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. That's what I would like to see remade or remastered.
That's a classic. Shaolin
That was
Monks was actually pretty cool. Yeah.
awesome. And then a lot of people didn't know you had other characters you could pick from.
The funny thing with Mortal Kombat series, right? I mean, they played around with so many different styles of game. I mean, granted, they were all fighters, but each game had like this weird mechanic that they always added to it. I remember one that it was Shaolin Monks the one with it was the RPG?
Yeah, it was basically you and another player if you want it. It's open, not open world, but you can walk around the boards and all that, and that's how you fought. It wasn't side to side.
Right. I think there was another one where it was like that, where it was single
Armageddon,
player. Was it Armageddon where you get to run around?
Armageddon. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure if the combat was the same way, but I do know you can run
No,
around,
you would fight in regular like arcade style,
but you will
but
walk up
you
to
would
the opponents.
right, exactly. And it's funny that like I don't know, it's just like a company that was not company, but like a game that was just straight like meant for just fighting came out with so many different genres of games. I wouldn't even be surprised if they had like a kart racer, which I think they
I could see it now. I
did.
think it might have.
No, I think they did. I think it was an Armageddon, and I think I remember playing Armageddon I think it was the Wii, which is actually funny, but I believe one of the mini games
Yes, it was.
was a kart
Holy
racer.
crap.
It was the kart racer, right?
Mortal Kombat Racing and Armageddon.
So,
Oh my god.
yeah, they had like a whole bunch of mini games in Mortal Kombat. I think Armageddon was probably one of my favorites just because of that. Because
Yeah, you get a
making your
big
own
behind
character was
head.
cool. Yeah, there was so many cool little things Armageddon, and I'm mad they just didn't really work on that, or didn't move more towards that. And I think that actually had one of the biggest rosters too. I think Armageddon was one of the biggest rosters for Mortal Kombat as well because it had almost all the characters, almost all of them, I would say.
And that's one thing I don't appreciate with Mortal Kombat. You know, I get people die, and it
Yeah.
actually they had a really big roster. Holy moly! I'm looking
Yep.
at it, and it's a lot of them.
Mhm.
But like a lot of the, you get to the next one, they're giving you new characters and taking out so many old ones, or they're
Right.
replacing them with a zombie version that doesn't do as much, like Liu Kang in the new ones.
Mhm.
Like,
No, I agree. I truly want them to just have a full, and I feel like a lot of people feel that same way. Every game that they've came out with already, I'm talking about from OG to 11, doesn't matter if they died or not, put them on a roster. That thing will be bigger than Smash Brothers roster. It'd be ridiculous. I would love to see that.
and please, I like it, but I also don't like the only choice being a mech of the type of character. Like, put in his regular form also.
Or just have it as its choice. Because like I think um in older games, Cyrax and Sector were two different characters, but I think in the newer games I think you choose the
Nah,
robot and
you
then it
can. I
gives you
think
the
you can
three.
switch. I think you can switch in it. Yeah,
I
but it
thought it
is
was
three
within
of
the
them.
fighting styles, yeah, because one of them was Smoke or Noob or one of them like Cyber Smoke or something like that, which I didn't like either. I thought that was stupid. Cyber Sub-Zero was cool. Oh man, there's just so many characters.
The other thing is, I I love when a game does this because it just aggravates me. Don't put in the character in the story, have me fight against them, and then not be able to unlock them. You
I
know
know
what I'm talking
exactly what
about.
you yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Exactly. Like they're in the story mode and then you
And they
just
have like a
cannot.
full set of moves. You get hit with
Yeah.
all of them, but then you can't unlock them.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
I think that
Rain
was
was
like
one. Rain,
Rain was
Baraka,
one of
and
them. Baraka. Yeah.
I think Sindel.
Yeah, and I think they were planning on having those as DLC, and I think Rain eventually did Rain become DLC for 11, if I'm not mistaken? I believe it he
I'm
was on
not
there.
sure.
I think he was on
I
one of
haven't
those
played in
DLC.
so long.
First of all, that DLC is too damn expensive. I know it's a whole nother story, but they were charging about $40 for the DLC. That's a little too much. A little too much for me. Like I said, I get it's a new story, but I think it only gave like 4 or 5 characters. A little disappointing to me.
And yeah, here's the best part. Sometimes they don't even give characters that's in the game.
Right. I
You
mean,
know,
you're getting what? Jason, Freddy, yeah, all these, yeah.
like I don't
Nah.
mind getting those characters, but like, can you at least throw some characters in that I fought against in the story? Like unlock them for me.
No, I agree. I definitely agree.
Also, I miss unlocking characters in a lot of games. Like everything's unlocked for you right away. I miss
I
that
think
unlocking.
I think a game that's actually doing it pretty good now. I wouldn't even say characters, but more or less unlockables in general. I think it's the Halo Master Chief Collection. I don't know if you've played that in kind of
Yeah, the
recently.
armor and everything. Yeah, I like that. I do like that a lot.
Yeah, it definitely gives you something to really like play around with. I mean, granted, you have to play multiplayer, and if you're not into that multiplayer aspect, then I can understand that. But um,
But I mean, at that
there
point,
is a
it wouldn't
lot.
really affect you if you
There's a
don't play the
lot.
multiplayer.
True. Well, I think you could do firefight, right? And you have private matches, but it makes no sense. Um, I miss private matches in Halo. I miss that.
Yeah, I do also. I
Private
miss.
games, those custom matches. Yeah,
Oh
all
yeah.
yeah, what was it? Ice Cream Truck, Fatty, all that stuff. Like those games were so good. Jenga.
Oh man,
Yeah.
good times. The soccer. There was soccer.
There was soccer, yeah. Soccer was cool. I mean, I'm happy that they like kept like Griffball was a thing, and I remember like people were definitely doing private match Griffballs tournaments until they actually made it into a playlist, which was actually pretty dope.
I like what Halo has been doing. I mean, it's pretty good. I wish they would put what we were just talking about in it, make it even more fun. But I mean, I it's definitely enjoyable as is.
Right,
But I
right.
mean, besides unlocking like skins and call tags and call signs and all that, I want like the old games where you had to unlock playable characters, maps, different things like that. Like I was sort of like how Smash Brothers did. Well, that still does. I miss that.
I think you can go back to well, I don't know if we can go back to this one, but Tony Hawk Underground. I think that was like another one, or was it Pro
Yeah,
Skater? One of those where you had to
you had to
unlock.
do actual challenges and different things.
Yeah, they had some cool characters. I
Yeah.
do miss that stuff. I agree with that. I miss unlocking characters. I don't want to pay for the character. I feel like that's granted. I mean, I feel like cool. Go ahead and pay like pay characters, whatever, but give us an option to actually have some characters to just unlock in the game,
I
depending on
mean,
whatever game it is.
there's a few games where I've seen the DLC, tell you in it, this
Mm,
is still unlockable in game without buying. I've seen that. They have early access stuff that you can just pay to unlock. So I mean, some games have that concept. Some just, I guess, people complain too much. Hey, it takes me forever to unlock this character. Unlock it right away. But I certain games should have just stick to their roots.
I agree. I definitely agree. So we've been playing well, you've been coming over here a lot, and we've been booting up Resident Evil. Uh, it's getting good. Well,
That's been good.
it's got good. It's got good. Yeah, I mean, since the last time that we talked, I mean, we've been through a lot with Ethan, which is like, I mean, that doesn't even say or like even amount to what he's been through. Just it's ridiculous the crap that he's been through.
Honestly, if I was
Um,
him, I would just found a new family.
I would have left. I would have left. Honestly, fuck that baby. Um,
I mean, it's in pieces. At that point, I was like, I wouldn't care what the fat guy said. He said, "Oh, you can bring it back.
yeah,
I can go reproduce again." You know.
right. At this point, yeah, you might as well just find yourself somebody else. I mean, this man. If you sit back and think about it, just being in the castle by itself was ridiculous. I mean, dealing with those those joints was just like ridiculous. Um, so we left the castle, right? We're out of the castle now. Um,
Back through the village into the underwater village type thing. Um,
where we get to choose our two paths. Okay. So we got to choose our two paths, and one path was to the doll house thing, and then the other path was to the Igor looking guy, right?
Eeyore.
So you
I
took it
hate
upon
myself.
yourself to choose Dollhouse first, right?
Yep. And
Now,
predict too much that I really was joking, and it came true.
yeah, and what was that?
I was
As we
like,
went into
"Hey,
the
we're gonna get
house.
in there. Oh, look, we don't have guns. It's gonna
Hmm.
be something where we gotta hide." And then you open up a thing, and I saw a handle on the inside of the closet part, and then I knew. I was like, "We're gonna have to run and hide."
Hmm. Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. It ended up taking from, I want to say also seven, but because Resident Evil 7 did the same thing with the brother, if I'm not mistaken. It was the brother that acted like it was basically like Saw, where he wanted to play a game, right? And you go into the dollhouse, you lose all your weapons, and you have to solve these little puzzles. And it ended up being kind of like a Saw level mixed with Outlast, where you don't have any weapons. You have to hide if the enemy's nearby. And this enemy was extremely creepy. I mean, it was a big ass baby.
And another reason why I'm not having children for a while.
'Cause that thing, they and you know what though, it really I gotta give it to the people who made Resident Evil 8. It really gave me Silent Hill vibes. Like that baby definitely was like on point with Silent Hill, and
Oh
especially
yeah.
the one that got canceled. It
Oh,
had that feeling. Like that whole house had that feeling.
especially when they
Um,
turned off the lights and it went red.
oh yeah, yeah. The fear was there. The fear of just not being able to attack or defend yourself is just always going to get me, especially when you don't have control. And like even in a video game where you're literally controlling the character, you don't feel like you have control of the environment, is just such a scary thing. And that's what that house was all about. It was all
I mean,
about,
demonic ghoul zombie babies will always be scary regardless.
yeah, but also possessed dolls should
I
be
mean,
scary too, right? Because that
listen,
was a mixture. They
yeah,
literally
Annabelle could have.
combined that.
All I'm saying is, if Annabelle ever came up to me, I'm kicking it and stomping it and putting it in a little cage.
I mean, if you've seen the Annabelle movie, that thing could take a beating. All
Oh,
right.
it can also stay in the oven.
Yeah.
Fire
But
beats doll every time.
you're not wrong. But so we go through the house, and I gotta admit, I think the boss fight for that was a bit underwhelming. Um, it was just really running around playing hide and seek, and you had to kind of go the right direction throughout the house to find the doll and then shoot it or stab it. No, it's like not, was it shoot it or stab? I don't know what he
Stab
did.
it
I think he was just
with
stabbing it.
scissors.
Yeah. And then that was it. Once you stabbed it enough, you were free to go. Uh, there wasn't much of a boss fight there. But it was scary. I mean, I'll give it that. It was definitely scary. It was nerve-wracking, and it was a fun puzzle, but I would say that boss fight was garbage. I thought the doll was gonna be like a crazy, crazy, crazy boss fight, but it wasn't. So
And it
after we
actually
left
turned
that,
out the doll was attached to the girl the entire time we were chasing it. I don't know if you
right, that
realized
lore
that.
was, yeah, no, it was, yeah. Because were you poisoned? I think you were poisoned, right?
Yeah, from the I believe some kind of flowers.
Yeah, yeah, it made you hallucinate.
and
And
we
that's why you
wouldn't
were
know
saying your
now.
wife. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
right there, I would have left. Seeing my wife after I saw
seeing your
her
dead
die.
wife. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, then again, I mean, she came back in the first one, this Resident Evil 7. She we chainsawed her, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think about that as often. That you actually literally cut her ass in half, and she came back, and and then produced with Ethan. Like I just
You
don't.
know what happened? That baby is definitely invincible now that I think of it, because I mean, she couldn't die. We obviously can't die. I mean, his hand got chopped off twice in the first
Yeah,
one
I'm
and in this
excited to
one.
see because I mean the whole story is what like they're trying to keep the baby and Ethan alive, right? I mean you're seeing that through the documents of um with Chris and you and his team that's hunting you down while you're in this village. They want you alive, right? I think and I'm hoping we get to find out what Ethan actually is or I mean he's obviously a biohazard, but like what is he? What is
If
his
he's not
background?
biohazard, then that's some serious, healing stuff. We need to mass
No,
produce
he's
that.
he's definitely a bio excuse me, he's definitely a biohazard. There's no doubt about that. It's just all about how how he fits in the Resident Evil universe. And first of all, does Lycans fit in the universe? How does all these new creatures like how do they fit in this zombie apocalyptic world, right? I mean,
I
I know we
mean,
talked about it in the last episode, but there's
experiment
not
with
just
DNA.
zombies anymore, but it's just yeah, I don't know.
I
I
mean, think
hope
about it. If a zombie bite can spread, the zombie disease.
mhm,
Think about, if they're engineering some kind of virus that has, wolf DNA that kind of turns them into wolves, it can kind of spread the same way through a bite or something. That also kind of goes back to Ethan. I mean, in the very beginning, he got his fingers bit off, and the open wound definitely has saliva and all that in it.
mhm.
So he's immune to it because we've seen other people, with the wounds transform already.
Right. I mean, it's blatant that he's a biohazard. It's blatant that he's something, but we just don't know what he is. And for some reason, he can't turn.
He could be like Wesker. Think about it. Wesker was able to control it, but he did not turn until at least 5.
Wesker needed like he needed the injections though to keep himself sane
But
to
his son
continue
in
to
6
keep.
did not.
Oh yeah, that was
He
true.
had the cure. So technically, maybe Ethan's sort of like that, but I don't know. It the bio that's in him tries to keep him alive, maybe, possibly.
I'll say I wouldn't mind seeing if they made a movie with uh like that correlates to the game because we know that the movies that are already out are very loosely based off the game, very loosely off the game. I wouldn't mind seeing an Ethan movie, like
Oh, I wouldn't
his
either. I would love
story
to
of
see that.
7 and 8, and I'm sure we'll see a 9 with Ethan. I think that's gonna be a thing. I don't know, but I feel like he's our new character. And I want to see Leon link up with Ethan because I think Leon is definitely one of my favorite characters in the Resident Evil franchise. But
I'm more of a Chris person, actually.
I don't know you. So you're cool with Chris doing all this? I mean,
I don't know. I want to know what's going on. I see kind of why, Chris is so cold. If it does follow after, 6 and
mhm.
5, he's been through a lot of shit. He has. And in 5 and in 6, the way it starts, he's like miserable. He's drowning himself in a bar because he doesn't like everything that's happened to him and losing teams after team.
But now this is like he's for the organization, like whoever he's working for, whether it's Umbrella or not. Um, he's 100% for. He's dark. He's like now he's like at a whole different level of.
I wouldn't say he's dark because think about it. They weren't necessarily transporting the
They
baby.
executed his this lady like
I mean, they could have found
cold
out that
blooded.
she's still. I mean, think about it. All right, she was definitely, she definitely has it in her DNA. There's no getting rid of this. There may be a cure for the zombie style, but not whatever the hell she had in her.
He
And
did though. That was at the end of 7, that was the cure that he gave her because remember you had the choice between curing her or Zoe. Or was it Zoe, I think her name was?
yeah, so but who's
Um
who's to say that was a full blown cure that fully cures it and it never happened? Because she could have still had it in her.
that was Ethan's fear. I mean, that's why he kept saying, I mean, 5 years went past, I believe. I think it was 5 years. And she was upset with him continuously bringing it up, but he's like, he still had PTSD
But
from it.
she still was snapping here and there.
I feel like that was just kind of just how she was, though. I wouldn't be surprised. That's just how she was. But granted, you could be right. I don't know.
I mean, we
She
still
could
have
have.
some more story,
She obviously passed something down to the baby, right?
and I think that's what Chris knew. Think about it. In the very beginning, he was saying that Ethan was saying Chris has him going through this training and everything. Something had to change. Chris was obviously on Ethan's side, but something had to change because throughout the whole entire thing, Chris is constantly telling Ethan whenever we encounter him, you shouldn't be here. Go, stay out of this. This isn't your concern. So Ethan knows something, and I don't think Ethan's working with Umbrella or the people because obviously it was never planned for this baby to fall into their hands. It was a car accident, and things kind of got out of control
It wasn't a car accident. They were ambushed.
on
You
the
could
way
see
to
it.
going somewhere.
Correct. They were ambushed. They were ambushed because the baby was taken by
Yeah, all right, but either way, I mean, I doubt Chris planned that. I think
Chris.
Chris, like I
Obviously,
said,
didn't plan that, but they knew about these people, and I don't know. It's just like I said. I guess we're gonna have to get further into the story to figure this out. And I mean, this is just a whole bunch of what ifs. But I just don't trust Chris anymore. I just don't think he's gonna be somebody that. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna last because Ethan. I think Ethan's going to try to kill Chris.
I mean, he's definitely gonna try to kill Chris after what happened to
Yeah.
Mia, I believe.
I think her name's Mia. Yeah.
Yeah,
Whether they're gonna let him whether it's gonna be a cliffhanger or they're gonna let him kill him, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm interested in seeing that. So he left the dollhouse, right? Um,
then we went to
and then
Igor.
we go to Igor. I don't even know his name. I just call him Igor. But that was actually that felt like a breath of fresh air going to his actual section
I like how
and
you call
going
that a
through the
breath of
water.
fresh air. He was disgusting.
Hold on, he was gross. But we weren't in no dungeon.
He
We were
had
not
guns.
underground. He had
Well,
guns.
we kind of were underground. We're in a
We were
mine.
okay for the first part, yes. But once you got to the point where you was playing in the water with him, uh, that felt good. And and I was saying it felt like Resident Evil 5 when you were going through the islands and on the boat. That's what it felt like. And it
But
was
it was
actually
so much better.
yeah, it was. The puzzles there were actually really good, and I liked his boss fight. His boss fight was actually a lot of fun, um, and very nerve-wracking. On a harder difficulty, definitely I can see myself dying multiple times on that. Uh, and his boss, I mean his transformation looked gross, but it was cool at the same time, and I liked the mechanics of it. And there we interacted with Chris again.
Yeah.
Uh, and he was gonna just take us in again, and they were doing research, and then we got cut off from him. So now we're at a point where we're going to uh
The last guy, the guy that controls the metal.
yep, we're going to what was it? I think it's the factory. So we're going
Yeah.
to the factory. So we're stopped at the factory. Um and we're close. I think we're close to the finale. Uh oh, we missed a very key important part was after we defeated Igor. Uh I'm
Going
gonna
to
keep
that
saying
guy's
that.
factory thing. Well, the
Um
mini spot that he had.
right. The test. He put us to a test and we had to fight a lot of Lycans and a bunch of the Well, a bunch of the Lycans, and then the big version of it with the hammer.
with the hammer. Yeah.
Right. Um, that was fun. That was a good way of getting rid of all your ammo.
Yeah. I did not expect to hit a switch and be in a horde mode.
No, I
Did not
agree.
expect that.
Sorry. Headset was dying. Okay. Um, yeah, no, I like that a lot. I think that was definitely I like this Resident Evil because it's a bit more actiony than 7 was. 7 was more stealthy, I felt.
It was
Um,
definitely more stealthy, and you saved out the ammo for the boss fights.
yeah, definitely.
Because there was only what I can honestly say probably like 7 regular enemies in that.
No, there was quite a bit. Once you got to the when you got into the cellar in Resident Evil 7, there was those creatures. They weren't zombies. They were like weird,
There were
like
like
these.
the noodle, the worm looking things. I said
Yeah,
noodle.
yeah. There was a lot of them in the basement, and I remember shooting them a lot. But like ammo was very scarce in
Yeah.
that game. Yeah. So I mean, I feel like Resident Evil 7 was definitely more of a scary game than 8 or Village, you would want to call it. Village, I feel like is a bit more action packed, and I would say it's more of a thriller than a horror. Um, there was maybe I would say like 1 or 2 jump scares in Village so far that got me, and that was it. But
Which one do you think got you the most?
in Village,
Yeah.
ah, hmm. The funny thing is, I don't. It wasn't even like any cutscenes. It was just like you would turn a corner and there would just be like this zombie. I mean, lichen just like right there that would just pop up. So it wasn't even like a cutscene or anything that would get me. It was just like straight up, just like walking into an area and this thing just like popping out of nowhere. Um, what brought fear into me was those big werewolf things.
I was about to say, I think what got me is the first time the actual werewolf came out. That scared the crap out of me.
It did jump out, yeah, it jumped out, grabbed us, and then that's when we got the grenade launcher, um, which was dope because it was definitely an easy way of taking it out. Um, but that thing is scary. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately, we got cut off from our recording program with Discord and whatever. Craig, he wanted to go ahead and stop recording, but I guess we could wrap it up here, Cody. Um,
We talked about a good amount of stuff today. A lot of
yeah,
Resident Evil, which we'll have a lot more when we finish it.
yes, yes, more Resident Evil to come. We're almost done with that game, definitely. And then we'll talk about our next game that we're gonna get into. I think we could talk about Remnant next time. That's definitely a game that we're working on right now.
No,
Uh,
got a few technology tech talks that we got in the works.
yeah, we got to go into that VR. This VR is gonna be another big thing that we're gonna get
Cloud
into.
gaming.
Cloud gaming. Hopefully, Demio next
Oh,
time. Hopefully, we can talk
definitely.
about that. But hey, listen, let's not get too far into it. Once again, thank you for checking in, listening. Please, we're only uploading currently on YouTube.
YouTube.
So like, comment, subscribe. Um, we are on Instagram, Twitter, and I think that's it right now, right?
Yeah, I'll be working on Facebook soon.
And a Discord at some point, but that's not important at the moment. But yeah. So feel free to drop a like, and we'll see you in a couple days.
Peace.
Peace.